Terry, you've also been a champion for public power for a long time now. Why? And what are the advantages that you see of this new form of utility in public?
Well, there's a whole group of folks within the community that became increasingly upset with what they were seeing out of Black Hills. It seemed like every time we turned around, we were seeing rate increases. And then also we started hearing all these really bad stories about how their relations with our customers, basically our citizens in our own town, were just atrocious. And so we started a dialogue with Black Hills and had a lot of good conversations, a lot of good folks involved in it, but all of us finally came to the conclusion we were getting nowhere. So because of that frustration, we started looking at what our alternatives might be. And we started reaching out to folks that had a greater degree of expertise in the area of utilities than we did. And we started learning volumes about what was going on throughout the community, what was going on throughout the state and throughout the nation, frankly, throughout the world. And what we found was we're in this remarkable time when the old model of top-down regulatory utilities really is no longer necessary. That was put in place when there was only a few folks who could provide these services. And it's just not true anymore. There's a number of folks who can provide these services. And from the fascinating perspective, we found out that you could control your own destiny to a large degree if you could get involved in the governing process, the decision-making process, and make sure that you were purchasing your power from the best sources that were available, because there's a lot of sources that are available for raw power out on the grid these days. So that's basically what we learned was we generated basically a list of what we thought were the driving issues, and rates were number one. Our community is a poor community, and rates were terrible, and they were going up and up and up. And tried to understand the model, found out in Colorado there's actually incentives for utilities to build capital structures, and they get a great profit out of it. It's literally, I think that Andrew Lang was talking last week about, it's a cost plus system, and it's horrible. Having that say, whatever you spend, you get a profit out of it. And we decided that that wasn't what we wanted anymore. The second thing that we were looking for is we wanted local control. It's real simple. This is a critical, necessary service to our citizens. And we thought if it's going to be coming to us, we need to control it. And then we also started taking a look at the services that were being provided, finding out that even when we gave enough grief to Black Hills to put in a local number on citizens' complaints, we found out that that was still going to South Dakota in order to be able to make sure that those questions were being answered. So we had literally no contact for our citizens that were in trouble with Black Hills. So we thought, no, we want to have a system where we can control that and control it better. And then the final reason is that we wanted to be nimble. In order to be competitive from an economic development basis, in order to be able to capture all the rapid changes that are occurring in the market, you got to be nimble. You got to be able to jump at opportunities when they come around. And going through this old arcane system of a top-down regulated industry is not nimble, and it doesn't work. It harms our people, and it harms our economic development efforts. And so we came to the conclusion that if we could control it, and if we could cut the profit out of this for-profit activity and save that money for our community, and if we could make the system more efficient from how it provided services, but then also more efficient from an economic perspective, it was the right thing to do. But I want to also champion my friend Mark Aliff's statement that he said on the very first week. It's the rates, it's the rates, it's the rates. We pay too much. We're paying 50% more than anybody else up and down the Front Range. That's ridiculous. We are not a wealthy community, and if we did better on rates, we would do better as a community. So that's basically it.